Welcome to Designing a Lesson Part C. It's a learning assignment that correlates with my topic, which was enteral tubes. So there's actually going to be two assignments linked with the course objectives, and the first one is Jeopardy with the iClicker. So this first assignment encourages interaction with the class. My objectives are going to be covered in a lecture format, and this actually allows the educator to interact with the students directly and ask them questions and see how they're faring. It allows the instructor to get some real-time feedback with the students' comprehension based on the accuracy of their answers. So the instructor can spend more time on the difficult topics or explain answers that students just were unsure of. And it's also a fun alternative to a straight lecture format, which can get pretty dry after a while. As we covered earlier, people can definitely be PowerPointed to death. Then the second assignment I chose is a poster presentation, and this assignment helps foster the students' creativity when a lot of nursing programs actually creativity is quite limited, so it gives them an opportunity to be self-expressive and work in small groups. This allows them to engage with the learning material personally and essentially innovate what we're teaching them and present it back to us, kind of that see one, do one, teach one method. And then these posters that the students create will be displayed in a common gathering area that they can view up until the test date so they can go over everything and they can remain up there the rest of the semester so they can use them as a reference for continued learning. Now, an overview of the first one. So the Jeopardy game. The topics that are the overheads of the Jeopardy game are actually going to be related to the objectives. So one will be G-tube common conditions, one will be common enteral tubes, one will be early tube complications, one is late tube complications, complications at any time, tube feeding specific complications, and then enteral tube management. The students will actually use their iClicker to kind of chime in with their answer. And once again, this keeps it anonymous so people don't have to be embarrassed and everyone can participate and see how they're faring with the comprehension of the material. And this also aids the teacher in evaluating comprehension of the class, like what am I teaching effectively? What are students struggling with more? And then once again, it's an inclusive way for everyone to join in, and everyone essentially gets a say. So it doesn't leave anyone out of this. When I know sometimes straight lecture students can nod off, stop paying attention, etc. And then it also allows the teachers once again to focus on the difficult topics. So what are the students really struggling with? And then they can spend a little more time in those areas. Oh, and I forgot to mention, the students are actually going to work together to get the most class points they can. So the more people that chime in with the right answers, the more the points will go up. I want everyone to work together rather than work against each other. And then the second one, poster presentations. So I figured if it was a smaller class, then they could be split up by the objectives. Um, so they'd be split into maybe I think it's like 7 different groups, and then each person would tackle an objective, with one objective being split into 3 parts, and that's the complications because there's so much information. And then a large class, instead of splitting just based on objectives, I thought it could be parts of the objectives, just because having too many people in a group kind of to do one poster can be too many cooks in the kitchen, and I think it will actually decrease learning than enhance it. But these poster presentations are going to be a way for the students to use their creativity um, to once again innovate and kind of represent the material in a way that encourages learning from them and encourages peer learning as well. And it's another method to keep everyone included. Everyone will be part of individual group and everyone will get a say in how things go. Um, and I really think the more that students teach each other, because that's how I got through nursing school, um, the more we interacted, the more we questioned each other, and the more we did together, the better we did actually. And you could really tell by our testing. And then this is, once again, the presentations. So the students are going to actually present their posters in um, a test review. There's always a test review before the test. Go over things people are struggling with still, and everyone usually comes. So this is an opportunity for the students to present their posters. And then, like I said, they're going to be left up in common student gathering areas, so students can continue to reference them up until class time and even later on. So for the directions for the Jeopardy game, the questions are going to follow a chronological reveal. So it'll go by each topic heading, and then it'll go by like the 100-point answer under each one and the 200 under each one. So everything's going to follow a chronological order with accumulating points as students answer them correctly. And then the students are going to work together to achieve that goal. So the students want to get more points collectively, and everyone will be using their eye clickers to answer and hopefully get the right answers. And anything that's obviously a struggle, we'll go over, but they'll receive all the questions that they use in the Jeopardy game. Uh, During class, they'll also receive them after class in a hard copy. Um, and if not, I was actually debating, because I don't really like to waste trees, but I was thinking maybe they could do an online copy and they could put it just in the course somewhere where they can all access, which actually I think will be a little better, because then they can print it off as they want it. And then the poster presentation. So each person will be assigned a topic and actually formulated a little paragraph on how the instructions would read. So it would be, in this assignment, you will create a poster based on the topic provided by the instructor. The poster must cover all aspects of the provided topic covered in class in relation to the objective. The poster size requirement is 24 inches by 36 inches. Um, it is up to your group on the layout of the poster, but it must include a title, APA references, the related objective, and the selected topic. Creativity is encouraged and will be graded, and students will present the posters in the class review prior to the test. So it kind of goes over all the different requirements, and I think what is a pretty clear manner of what's expected from them. And then the rubric, there's no rubric for the Jeopardy assignment. It's more of an in-class evaluation for the educator to use to see how the students are doing with the material. And it's just a collective focus on learning rather than a graded structure. However, the poster presentations will have a rubric. So it's going to be a 0 to 100 rubric, pretty standard. Creativity will be 15 points. The required elements, so that's having the title, the APA references, all those different things, that'll be 15 points. Um, the topic coverage will be 40 points because that's the major part. It's the content part, and you just want to make sure that they have a wide breadth of that. And then the APA format will be 10 points, and then the presentation itself will be 20 points. So what I like to think is that things like required elements, creativity, and APA format, those can all be like easy points right off the bat. Um, that's basically 40 points of the presentation that you can do by just putting effort in and making sure that things look good. And then the other ones will be up to them really knowing the material and then presenting the material. Um, and then it'll equal about 5% of the grade. And it doesn't seem like a lot for a lot of effort into a poster, but if you think about it, a lot of students are failing by tenths of grades. So any 5% can help. And um, by encouraging students to get the full 5%, they're engaging with the material and they're receiving what I consider easy points to enhance their learning and to make sure that they're gonna do well and continue on in the program. Um, so that's essentially my entire um, learning assignment that I propose, and I think it'll cover the subjects well and the objectives well, and I think students will learn a great deal while being able to show off their individuality. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it.